Hello, drafters. I'm Felonious. Thanks for coming to my channel. Throw me a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you being here. We're here to do some Arena Cube draft because it is my jam. We've got like 24 hours left in the season, and we're hanging at rank 15. I've had a lot of fun with Duskmorn. I played a ton of it at MagicCon Vegas over the weekend, so we're going to get into some Cube because this is my jam. I love some Cube draft. We ended last night with a trophy, going 7 and 2 with a blue-black deck, which was a lot of fun. And let's see what we get into today. All right, first pick. We got some options here. Atraxa is a direction that we can go in. Try to make some sort of rampy reanimator deck. I really like a first pick Gix. I like an aggressive black X deck, whether it's blue-black or black-red. Even white-black sometimes. There are some good white cards in this pack. Legion's Landing, Archangel Avacyn, Settle the Wreckage. There are no other black cards in the pack, so I like taking Gix here. Gix is really strong. It's good in a format where you want to just curve out and be on the play. And it will help us shape our picks for this draft. Counterspell is very strong, double blue. Tenacious Underdog is also very good. Tenacious Underdog is kind of exactly what we want with Gix. Dollmaker's Shop is probably pretty cool in Constructed. I'd rather take this Tenacious Underdog and see what else comes around. I see a white-black deck that could wheel. But what do we have here? Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. He's probably just fine. I mean, he's definitely a bomb in Duskmorn draft. Probably just fine in Cube, but not necessarily what we need to move into. There's Thalia here, but black likes to be playing spells that kill things, and those are usually non-creature spells. Overlord might be a good pick here. It's a new addition to Cube, so I'm not quite sure how to rate it. Spyglass Siren is probably more the direction that we want to move in. I like a blue-black deck that's aggressive with Gix. I don't think we're going to wheel that counterspell. And I don't really want to play white-black. I'd rather be in blue-black. I'm going to take the Spyglass Siren. Okay. Airtie Resurrected. That card's sweet. And that's a reason to be in blue-black. It's a creature that has flash, it's a counterspell, it's a murder. This card's awesome. Inferno Titan here if we had gone in the red direction, but I mean that's an expensive card. You got to be careful with how many of those you pick, which makes them not quite as good to pick early in general. Not a whole lot of blue-black action in this pack. There are some good white cards. I'm thinking I might just take this dual land in case some sort of Esper deck arises. I could also take Dread Knight as a spec to go black-green. To get the lands to run some sort of Esper deck would be pretty miraculous. I'm just going to take the Dread Knight as a spec in case black-green starts becoming a better looking deck than blue-black. I mean, Damnation's pretty cute. Even in an aggressive deck, sometimes you get to come back from being behind after passing a couple turns, blowing up their board, getting another threat out. Damnation's pretty sweet. I'm going to snatch that up. There's some cool white-black cards coming around. Restless Reef looks pretty good here. Hard Evidence is also pretty strong, but I don't think it's what we want. Especially with Gix, we want creatures that have power. I'm going to take the Restless Reef here, make sure we can cast our spells. Let's see, Chrome Coast. I would have considered taking this hover ship, but Blink of an Eye is good. Blink of an Eye also helps get damage through with Gix. And that is a whole game plan by itself, even though I keep mentioning it. What is this? That's cool. I am interested in playing that. Though having Lutri seems pretty sweet. This feels like a free Lutri pick. This card seems cool, but I'm going to take the free Lutri pick. The card goes in all of your... Oh, look at what we got here. Wheeling the counterspell for our blue-black deck. That is beautiful. Pick 10, counterspell. Excellent. That's a great sign. We can take another counterspell here, make disappear, make our 2-drop slot a little heavier. Nightclub Bouncer's good, but it's not necessarily, we don't need to stack up on 4 drops. Make disappear's good. Repulse over a Dissection Tools. I think Dissection Tools is pretty good and limited. I don't know if it's necessarily what we want for this deck. I'm going to take Repulse. Oh wow, we wheel the Sea Chrome Coast? That's funny. I'm not going to play Deduce, so I'll take this. Wheeling Hard Evidence? That could make its way into our deck. Hello, blue-black cards. And it's hard to pass a Snapcaster Mage after getting past that late counterspell. I mean, what else might we see? Ophiomancer's really good. Mockingbird is, seems like it's pretty good, but Snapcaster Mage is what we want here for our blue-black deck. We already got this counterspell, pick 10. Yeah, I'll take a first pick Snapcaster for pack 2. Ooh. Decisions. Look at all these. Look at all these choices. This is tough. We are definitely playing blue-black, right? So we probably just want this Watery Grave. Silent Hall Creeper is definitely going to be good with Gix, but it also just eats removal pretty quickly. I think the card is going to be great, don't get me wrong. But I don't really want to pass both of these dual lands and then not get either of them for our blue-black deck, especially when we have a card like Counterspell and we want to be able to cast it again with Snapcaster and Gix. There's a lot of double pips. We might wheel one of these. We'll see what happens. I need to take the Grave. It's not a feel-great pick, but it is the smarter pick than taking one of the good cards. All right, here we go. A Deep Cavern Bat next pick. This card's really good. I like Phyrexian Metamorph a lot. I like Key to the Archive. Key to the Archive is better when you're going over the top of your opponent. We're trying to kind of go under, gain tempo, get some creatures on the board, and prevent our opponent from creating any board presence. If that fails, we've got a backup Damnation. But Deep Cavern Bat's gonna help with that game plan, providing some disruption, getting a 2-drop out for Gix. We want as many 2-drop black creatures as possible so that we can curve out into Gix efficiently. Caustic Bronco. Yes, that card's great. There's a Wormcoil here. Wormcoil's fine. It's good in lots of decks. There's lots of exile removal in this set, so in this cube, I should say. Charter Course is good. Cult Conscript is what we're hoping to wheel out of this pack. We really want the 1-drop black creatures when we're playing a Gix deck. Caustic Bronco is our pick for sure. Ooh, a Fatal Push. Pick 5. Don't mind if I do. What is this? Interesting. Yeah, we're going to take Fatal Push. Nice to have some removal. Let's take a look at our interaction package over here. All right, blue-black deck. How else can we Gix with Enduring Curiosity? That's another card that does the exact same thing as our Gix. And this card is awesome. And this card's been really good in Duskmourn Draft, but I'm pretty sure it's just absolutely awesome in any game. It has Flash. It's going to surprise your opponent when they think they're just going to take some damage. All of a sudden, you draw 2 or 3 cards. Yeah, that's what we need. There were a lot of good blue-black cards in that pack, so that was kind of tough, but that's a good card. Now this, wow. All the good blue-black cards are coming now. 3 Steps Ahead is strong. Time Warp is expensive. It's strong. It's also expensive. Lord Skitter is quite good as a 3-drop. I think 3 Steps Ahead or this Time Warp are my picks, though, because Lord Skitter could wheel. You know what? I'm going to take Time Warp. We don't have much of a top end yet, and that card can be pretty sweet. Alright, we're getting past some expensive, good blue spells, but I'm not too against taking them. I think Flood Pit's Drowner might be just really, really good here instead of Sublime Epiphany. I don't really want to take Liliana. I'd rather have one of these creatures or the Epiphany. I'm going to take the big spell. That card's pretty sweet. Ophiomancer or Fiend's Tower. Whew. Yeah, well, we did see all of these good cards. They were tough picks the first time around. They're going to be tough picks the second time. Ophiomancer over Unnerving Grasp. Yeah, this card's really good. That's what we want to pick. Oh, man. Dark Slick Shores over these 2-drops. I think that's what I have to take. We're inundated with playables at this point. As much as I really want these 2-drops, and this might skew the things we get past, but we want all of these dual lands. They're going to really help us cast our spells. Phyrexian Metamorph is really strong, but I'm just going to take another dual land, make sure that we can curve out. I think Jadar is still in the pool because we haven't seen it yet, and if we can get a Jadar and maybe a Priest of the Forgotten Gods, that Homicide Investigator will be a lot better. Cyba Siphoner, Fairy Mastermind. There's also Gonti. I think I just want to take this Fairy Mastermind. I've passed a lot of the 2-drops, though Cyba Siphoner does do some nasty things with Time Warp and Counterspell and Damnation. It's just not as fast a card as I'm trying to build with this deck, and I have a lot of instants and sorceries, so it's usually going to cost 4 mana. I want 2-drop 2-power flyers to go with my 2 mana counter spells. And I already missed out on Malcolm for this Dark Slick Shores, but I'm glad that I did. Sheoldred, that card's awesome, and it's really good with Gix and Enduring Curiosity. It's a must-answer threat that just kills your opponent. Pretty sure it got banned in some format, didn't it? Maybe not. Maybe not. It's just always really good. Tishana's Tidebinder is quite strong. I also like Subterranean Schooner a lot, especially with all of the creatures that we have. Tishana's Tidebinder does a lot of things. It shuts down Sheoldred. We could wheel this Censor too. Maybe I'll just heist target opponent's library. Grave Expectations can be really good. I'm just going to take that because I also have Snapcaster Mage. And Grave Expectations, heisting target opponent's library for 1 mana can be very strong. Phantasmal Image. It's a good card. I see Pile On here, and I like it as well, but I would rather have this Phantasmal Image. It's a really good addition to Cube. I think it was already in the Cube, but this art is a cool addition to the card. And I really like Phantasmal Image. It'll copy an Enduring Curiosity pretty well. It'll copy Noxious Gearhulk. It also copies all of those Overlords quite soundly. Tamiyo. Oh man, do I take Tamiyo over that Spell Snare? Can I wield the Spell Snare? Because I really want Spell Snare. Spell Snare is so good. I think I should take Tamiyo though. Okay, so we didn't wheel... What was that one drop we didn't wheel? We did not wheel the Gutter Bones. Or sorry, the Cult Conscript last pack. But we at least get this Gutter Bones, and that's nice. There's the Priest of Forgotten Gods, but I still haven't seen Jadar. We might soon, but I would rather just have the one drop. Nexus of Becoming. This card is sick. Especially in a deck where you don't have many expensive cards. Maybe I just want more creatures. Marionette Apprentice is pretty awesome. I am interested in this Nexus of Becoming. Inquisition of Kozilek, this Manland or Lazav. Lazav's a pretty good 2-drop. I think I should take that. It'll fit into the deck well. Wheeling a Cyber Siphoner. We're gonna have to make some cuts. And that is for sure. Croft's Eidetic Memory. This card seems pretty cool. But it works at the beginning of combat, and I'm gonna be drawing cards during combat a lot more often. I think I should just take another 2-mana counterspell over the Spell Pierce. Censor over this Dasana's Tidebinder. I don't think so. I have a good amount of 2-mana counterspells now. I'm taking the Schooner. This card's really cool. Exclude could find its way into the deck. We wield Spell Snare. I will take that over Commit. A lot of the best cards in this format are 2-drops, like most formats, which is why Spell Snare is good in Eternal formats. Repulse probably getting a cut here. I don't think Kitesail Larcenist... Well, Kitesail Larcenist is quite good. But Exclude probably doesn't fit our strategy. Phantom Interference isn't that good. Sky Sovereign is actually playable. Alright. Let's put something together here. There we go. Okay. Nexus of Becoming happens to be pretty good with cards like Sky Sovereign and Schooner. Schooner's not really what we need to play in this deck, since we have plenty of playables. Schooner's really good with Gix. And I mean, it's a 2-drop that attacks for 3. It attacks as a 3/4 pretty often on turn 3. I like all of my 2-drop creatures. Probably going to look at the top end for cuts. I don't have a ton of kill spells. That might make it harder for me to be aggressive early. It might be nice for me to have a game plan with Gear Hulk and Nexus and Epiphany. Maybe Damnation just isn't right in this deck. I could move to a little bit more control-y of a shell. I don't need to play Nexus as much as I like it. I don't need to necessarily play it in this deck. I have a lot of ways to draw cards, and getting to 6 mana and then having another way to draw cards, it probably isn't what I want to be doing here. Getting to 6 mana and like destroying something and winning a race, or countering their spell and making copies of things, that probably seems like a better thing to do with my 6 mana. Cyber Siphoner gets back Sublime Epiphany. I mean, I'm going to play it, because I have some really good instants and sorceries in this deck. Tightsail Larcenist is strong. Tamiyo does not connect. Doesn't deal damage, but she's still good enough. I don't really want to cut the Larcenist, but it seems like it might be the worst card in the deck. Yeah. I think Kitesail Larcenist probably comes out. It's fine as it is. I don't know how good I feel about actually cutting that land. I do have a lot of 1-drops and 2-drops, but my curve isn't as low as I'd like it to be for 16 lands. I really do want to hit 4 mana. Yeah, with Bronco and Lazav and Tamiyo and Spyglass Siren, I do have early ways to draw into more lands. I like this deck. This looks good to me. We've got a few strong cards in the sideboard that we don't have room for, but this looks powerful. We've got ways to come back when we're behind with Damnation. We've got some early ways to blow out our opponent by just playing creatures and dropping Gix. Really good interaction after that. So Sublime Epiphany looks like it might be a little slow, but we will make it work. That card is very powerful. It's worth all 6 mana that you spend for it. Oh, it's a friendly name. Eat a deck. Quite a moniker our opponent has chosen there. I like this hand enough. It's the kind of hand you keep with confidence and then never draw a third land. Or you do. I think we'll be okay. We might have to pay the 2 life for this Watery Grave. No, it's not likely. I'll be able to just keep Fatal Push up to not lose life and not make it obvious I have Counterspell. Counterspell will probably be good later anyway. Whoa. What a foreshadowing. I do not love that. He can't internalize it. But then we can just Snapcaster Mage it. I think I might just snatch up Lutri here. He's going to 3 mana. No, I'll keep my counterspell up. I don't need Lutri yet. That's a good spell to be countering. I don't want my opponent to draw any cards. We've got a Snapcaster counterspell here, but not for that. We want to give my opponent a card so we can apply some pressure. Yeah, sure. My opponent missed a land drop, but they resolved that thing. I'm just going to attack for 3, keep up a counterspell while my opponent is struggling on lands and doesn't have a board presence. I might as well just keep up counterspell. We're going to be cubing all day. Afternoon, I should say. Evening? I suppose it depends where you are. Oh, I love cube. You know, I'm just going to counter that. My opponent has a Swords to Plowshares. Nice. My opponent definitely has a Swords to Plowshares. Counter Nissa. Next turn I might just attack with the Restless Reef. Get him for a bunch of damage. Let him resolve something and then just kill it with Gear Hulk and then copy the Gear Hulk the following turn. Oh. No land is a bummer here. Alright. See if I can mess up his game plan. See if I can mill a bunch of lands. No. Oh well. We'll get him down to 8. If he resolves a good creature here, we have Phantasmal Image, and if we... Yeah, he's dead. Got him. Man, I'm on a yawning spree. Alright, got him. 1-0. That's a good way to start the day. Blue-black. I really like the blue-black deck in Cube. It's just brutal. You get on board early, and you just prevent your opponent from producing any sort of game plan. I'm missing some of the disruption I'd usually like. A Thoughtseize. Inquisition's even pretty decent in this set because so many of the cards cost 3 or less. Hey, what up, KevBot? Dude, Cube is the shit. You ever Cube? So much fun. Okay. So how about this sequencing, right? This is so if I play my Gutter Bones on turn 1, then I don't get to play my Spyglass Siren and keep up Counterspell on turn 3. So what I'm going to do is play Spyglass Siren on turn 1. That way I can play Bronco on turn 2, and then Gutter Bones with Counterspell up turn 3. Sometimes your turn 1 play actually matters. Because this sequencing will be very, very much superior to anything else we could have done. Oh, yeah. Juicy. Free card, Gutter Bones, Counterspell. Oh, our opponent's in trouble. About MagicCon was a fucking blast. We gotta go to MagicCon. We should all try to go to MagicCon Chicago together in February. Nay. I said nay to your kite sail larcenist. Yeah, that's a pretty good card to keep on top. Should I make my opponent lose 2 life instead of me? You know, I don't think so. I think I'd rather just lose the 2 life and him lose an extra life. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I don't care about the life loss. Yeah, I'll just keep up Mastermind and Fatal Push. He might have a Wrath of God here. It's pretty good. Seems good, right? And this way, if he does have some interaction, I still have Fatal Push and the mana to pay for Ward. So if he has a Swords to Plowshares in his hand or whatever it is to kill this, then it activates my Fatal Push. Do I care about that? Permanent control left the battlefield. Alright, no, because he's going to hit the Kite Sail Larcenist when it comes back. Because that'll just kill it, right? No. Okay, I didn't see that coming. Well, that's okay. I'll just kill this thing. Then I'm going to saddle this up, see if I can have him lose some life. That's okay. It would have made sense if he hit the Phantasmal Image because it would have just died with that ability it has without him having to pay the ward cost. And then the next turn he could have ephemerated it to bring it back and make something else a treasure. So, I don't know. That play surprised me because it didn't seem optimal. I'll just attack in with my Snapcaster Mage counterspell. Got Settle the Wreckage, probably. Nah, we'll counter that spell and call it a game. Good game, Breakfast Warrior. Wait, there's a Philly next year? Oh, there is no MagicCon Philly. All right, yeah, cool. Following along with that. No, let's go to Chicago, bros. That'll be cool. It's not like a trip to Europe. We can all get an Airbnb, and we'll play in the PTQ together, or not. I mean, you guys can like mystery draft or play Commander or whatever you guys want to do all weekend. MagicCon's awesome, super fun. Vegas was great, and I want you guys to come with me because you're my friends. Y'all my Magic friends. So start saving up. Or just keep beating me in limited until you're, and then you win opens and then win an open. That'll pay for your vacation. We like a Bronco on turn 2. We don't necessarily have a turn 3 play. I really need another blue source for these double blueby guys. This shiny cat. Cute cat. I have an immense amount of respect for the curiosity that cats innately have. I respect them for it. I appreciate it. It resonates with me deeply. What you got, Man of Montana? Man of Montana, that's an awesome name. Not until I said it out loud did I realize how great it really is. Well, we'll at least put Lutri into our hand, and then next turn we'll be able to air tie. Or maybe we'll draw another blue source. Nicaeus is a pretty fine play when you have 1-drops and you're being aggressive. It's kind of slow on turn 2 without anything to support it the prior turn. But my opponent might have something cool like Adeline here. And that'd be a pretty good strategy. Unfortunately, if he plays Adeline, he doesn't get to pump up Nicaeus, so I don't know if that is a very good strategy. You'd probably be better off playing something that makes 2 bodies and pumping up Nicaeus. But he's a white deck with Nicaeus, so I think there's a very high chance Adeline Resplendent Cathar is in his deck. So a very high chance my opponent is doing nothing at all right now. Snoresville, McMana, Montana. She's getting her makeup done. She's in hair and makeup. She got back just in time. Come on. You got this, Mana. Oh, sorry, bro. Do I care about the life loss from Caustic Bronco? No, I don't. This way, if he blocks with Split Skin Doll, I can just kill it with Airtie. I guess I could just kill Split Skin Doll now. Because he could block and... Yeah, you know what? If he wants to trade off, that's cool with me. I'm going to play Ophiomancer and Spyglass Siren. He doesn't even want to trade? Okay. Well, that's nice. It's a bold move. See how it pays out for him. That Spyglass Siren off the top was excellent. All right, our opponent did something. Caw. What's ossification gonna snatch? Wait, why didn't Ophiomancer make a snake? That's that's awesome. Caustic Bronco's a snake, so Ophiomancer didn't make a snake. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's funny. Well, my opponent didn't seem to notice it either. Lucky enough. I'm going to use this pre-combat. Give me island. 0 islands. Alright, that's fine. I'll just attack with some things, keep the Ophiomancer back. Airtie's probably going to kill that Micaeus if he tries to take him up one more time. I don't know, maybe I should be worried about a board wipe, but I'm not. This deck looks like it's supposed to be aggressive. So I'm fine just playing out against this, what appears to be a mono white deck at the moment. Yeah, he's not going to Wrath of God after doing that. I think we're safe in the Wrath of God department. I'll be right back. Houdini. Beware the Wrath of Doge. Ah, the Overlord. That card's strong. I don't feel like I'm that far ahead all of a sudden. Well, is there any point in attacking with Ertai? I mean, I guess so. Well, at least Gutterbones got through. Overlord's so good. I look forward to playing this card in this cube. Oh, that's convenient. I guess I should just counter that spell. Unless he pays 2, right? He's only got 1 mana. It's a good spell to be countering. That's so awkward. Hey, we get a Gutterbones. We get to use our mana. Woohoo! Too bad Snapcaster Mage can't give Airtie flashback. Let's see, 2 islands off the top. Oh, wow. That's going to be pretty nasty. I'm going to do that on my opponent's upkeep next turn. Or maybe after I attack. We'll see. I probably am not going to attack with that. Unless... Oh no, he won't be able to block with Overlord next turn. Let's see what he plays. Ah, Dust Animus. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Oh. Okay, Dust Animus is certainly a problem. Deep Cavern Bat doesn't do anything, but it's a 1/1 for now. My opponent is going to gain some life with the Dust Animus, but at least we have this Shieldred. We have all sorts of cool things we can do with the second blue mana. Oh, killing me. Just dead. I'm not dead yet, but it's not looking good for our hero. I do have a lot of double blue in this deck. Maybe I'm playing too many swamps. We will take a look. I'm pretty sure I have like 11 sources of blue and 11 sources of black. Maybe, no, never mind. It's just 10 of each. That's still pretty good. This is just bad luck, but that happens. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. That, I wanted to have a Johnny. Remember creatures I control? Wait, he does not control a red permanent. He can make, yeah, that's fine. He can have a Johnny. I think I should just chump. I do have a Damnation in this deck after all. He doesn't control another red permanent, so all this does is make cats. I mean, it also has a Cataclysm effect, I suppose. There's another blue. Alright, alright, what can we do here? How can we take advantage of Sublime Epiphany? I think I should just time warp to get my mana up and maybe get another island. Yeah, I need more blue mana. But at least I have this Cyber Siphoner. I have a I could block. Man, Tamiyo was like the worst draw in my deck there. That was not what I wanted to see. Alright, I have an idea. I think. Man, that was such a bad draw. I'm just gonna have to do like Sublime Epiphany and then I don't know. Next turn, draw an island so I can Cyber Siphoner and Tamiyo, or I can just Snapcaster Sublime Epiphany. I'd rather get it back with Cyber Siphoner first, though. All right, I'm gonna bounce this. I'm gonna make a copy of this and make myself draw a card. He drew some sort of spell. Otherwise, he wouldn't have priority here. Something with instant speed interaction. There's another island. Okay. Really need to draw our damnation. How can we survive here? I think I have to Snapcaster Mage the Sublime Epiphany again. Or, Sublime Epiphany, that attack trigger again, I mean. Having Tamiyo out to block is fine, but then I can't counter that attack trigger or get rid of the Warren War Leader. So I just pass. With Snapcaster up, hope he casts Dust Animus first. I don't think he will. I'd really like him to just attack with his Warren War Leader, but I don't think that's going to happen. He's going to draw a card with his Esper Sentinel too. Yeah, getting back to Shieldred seems fine and all, but he can just play Touch the Spirit Realm again. It doesn't really help me. All right, Noxious Gearhulk's pretty huge here. That can blow up his Dust Animus or his War Leader, probably his Dust Animus. Hey, look, an Adeline. I knew it. All right, what do we have mana for? Gearhulk, Tamiyo. And Counterspell. Tamiyo doesn't do a whole lot for us, does it? But it keeps us from being dead. And we really want to kill this Warren War Leader, but we can't just be taking 8 in the air next turn. There's a chance we just run out of cards before we see the Damnation. And Enduring Curiosity is not a card you really want to be attacking with when you have a bunch of creatures out. Like, this can only hit him five times before we're... It needs to hit him 5 times to kill him, and that would be 5 turns, so... I don't know. I need to wipe my opponent's board, so hopefully Damnation comes up soon. And then Cyber Siphoner can get back Time Warp. Not having that Sublime Epiphany again is a bummer, but we really did not have another choice. We were going to die. We needed more blue mana earlier in order to stay in this for longer. It's kind of awkward, but... Those flyers with the Warren Warleader have been quite a pain. Still can't double spell with any of these double bloobers. You have a lot of double pips. And that was some bad luck. I don't think we're going to win this, but we're still going to try. Yeah, I guess that will kill me, won't it? If he attacks out, I'm dead anyway. We'll see if he does that. Alright, we've got one more top deck. Well, turns out that was a pretty good top deck. Not good enough, though. We'll see. Maybe he has cold feet and doesn't swing in with the whole team. That is pretty excellent. He did not attack with the whole team. Oh, no. Oh, no, I didn't mean to hit that. Oh, no. Whoops. He got me good. Even Interrupter. Oh man, his last card. What a top deck from our opponent. Good game, opponent. Yeah, we did our best to survive that, but our opponent top decked a little too well for us. 2-1. That's all right. It was a good game. All right, what do we got here? What a good hand. Starting off with a turn 1 Tameo. Keeping up our Watery Grave. I should have just played Watery Grave to make it less suspicious, but I don't really care that much. Oh, look, Thoughtseize. We don't have to worry about it. What did he take? Enduring Curiosity? That was a pretty good pick. Play this Deep Cavern Bat, see what my opponent's all about. Well, I'll get rid of that Inquisition. My opponent can get an Emperor of Bones out. That Enduring Curiosity will come back into play under my control. Oh no, it gets a finality counter. So he just gets to draw cards. The Emperor of Bones, pretty strong. But I didn't want him to Inquisition of Kozilek away either of my things. So we're just going to have to suffer for it a little bit. I'll pay the 2 life for the convenience. He's definitely going to draw some cards off of this Emperor of Bones combo. Oh, I meant to play this Fairy Mastermind so I could draw a card. Oops. Mistake. Big mistake. It would have been nice to have that extra land, or an extra card. That Fairy Mastermind did not come out when I meant for it to. It's alright, we're fine racing our opponent here. Now we have airtie, so we can kill that Emperor of Bones on the backswing. It would have been nice to have a land on the last turn. Inti is cool. Now I can block Tiny Bones unless he has some removal. It's a good block. Tiny Bones is going to deal damage, so he'll be able to cast my Air Tie. He has another land. Oh, yes, you have to do it right away. Not going to work. Okay. Phantasmal Imaging a Johnny doesn't seem great. I could Phantasmal Image my Deep Cavern Bats. See what else my opponent has. I think it might be better to just Phantasmal the Ajani to make more blockers. Do I need to attack with Tamiyo? I don't think so. No, I don't need extra clues at this point. I'll leave her back as a blocker. I mean, Phantasmal Image might just be a lot better as whatever else he plays next, but I don't want to leave myself open to... I guess Deep Cavern Bat does keep me pretty protected here. Instead of a Johnnying. Yeah, I'm going to do another Deep Cavern Bat. Get rid of my opponent's Fell. Yeah, I'm fine sacrificing a creature if he makes me do that. Yeah, this looks good. Now I've got great backup. I'll take 3 here, gladly. I have a counter spell, and he knows it. At this point, I think I'm okay with him resolving Sheoldred's Edict. And I think I want this card. If he plays Sheoldred's Edict, they'll sacrifice Tamiyo. Yeah, and I don't care about that, and he knows it. I have Counterspell, and I have Snapcaster Mage. Let's see what my opponent tries to do. think I should counter that spell. Make him play something else. Because that blocks 3 of whatever comes through with trample. Yeah. And then if he plays Shieldred's Edict, I can sacrifice the Fairy Mastermind, and I have Snapcaster to block with. Yep. This checks out. He doesn't know I have Snapcaster. I have just enough blockers to not die. Sneaky, sneaky Snapcaster mage. Nope. Don't want to make that mistake. And I just take 6. I don't want a Johnny to flip. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'll block here and here. Take 6. Go to 1. Good game. Good game, Shrines. That was awesome. What a close match. Sick. All right, 3-1 with our blue-black deck. Wow, I didn't think we were going to pull that one off. That was a great game. Yeah, our opponent... oh, close one. Close one. Good game. We had just enough blockers and interaction. Sneaky Snapcaster Mage to trick our opponent. He played around that counterspell pretty hard, but he kind of missed the fact I might have something else. It was a close game. Those Deep Cavern Bats were great. Yeah, and if I don't Deep Cavern Bat there, then he gets to fell my other Deep Cavern Bats and then get a free Inquisition of Kozilek. And then I'm probably in a lot of trouble. So that all worked out really well. Me Phantasmal Imaging the Bat instead of his Ajani to make 2 bodies, just to make another life-linking flyer, was actually relevant because I needed the extra life to stabilize at 1 there. Whew, that felt good. What a top deck on Gix. Now we have Gutterbones, Lazav, and coming in with Gix soon. Oh yeah. I hope my opponent plays something that's not big so that I can attack through it. Well, there's a good chance he'll be willing to get rid of his Avacyn's Pilgrim to keep me from drawing a card here. Depends how much mana he needs next turn. If he's ramping into 7, alright, we get a free card. We have Airtie for whatever he decides to play. What does he have? Does he just want to race me? Does he have Embercleave? He actually has Embercleave in his hand. Well, I guess I'd rather just trade off with that thing than die. He's got Embercleave. Yep, there it is. Called it. Better than just dying, though. So I still have a good game plan here. I can play Spyglass Siren. I can put a map count. I'll put it on here. All right. And then I'll kill this thing. We have airtie to kill that Huatley when he flips it next turn. I wonder if he tries to attack with it first. Yep. I mean, that's pretty good. He didn't spend 5 mana to exile it, but at least he'll go to combat first. Oh, is he going to play something else? Oh, juicy. Oh, yeah, that's good. You get to just blank his entire turn. Yeah, I might as well just play this, kill his creature, and be the aggressor. He's dead next turn. Wow, that was nasty. What did I tell you about airtie? That card is nasty. Our opponent did just Primal Might into like full open mana, and I had like 4 cards in my hand. Blue-black deck. That wasn't very wise, and that's a good example why. Airtie is very powerful. He's a blocker, but he can't block the Menace creature and the other 2. He has a 2-mana burn spell. Good game. Good game. Embercleave's pretty good. But we saw it coming, so we didn't get blown out by it. Others may have blocked that Lanoir Visionary and gotten their Gix just smashed. Got him good. We're 4-1. Oh, yeah. This is a good hand. It'd be nice if we drew a 2-drop creature that's not Cyber Siphoner so that we could play it. Curve into Gix a little bit better. Like that one. Oh, this could be brutal. Our opponent's black-green deck is going to play a Mana Dork here. This is about as good as Gix gets. This is why we drafted the deck the way that we did. So that we could capitalize being on the play, getting creatures out. I mean, this is very, very hard to beat. I'm going to say almost unbeatable. Our opponent's got to go way over the top of us at this point. Proclaw's Heist. That'll steal a Shieldred, but I have Fatal Push to take care of it. Shieldred would have been a really filthy curve for us, so that's fair. I'm going to put this on here. That's a permanent leaving the battlefield. I'm going to I didn't need to do that. This is only a 2-drop. That was silly of me. But now, Spyglass Siren is bigger. We get to do more damage. And we have a million cards in our hand. Game over. I have to make this appear if he does anything. More counter spells to back it up. Really hard to beat that Gix curve. Do we need to draw any more cards? No, we're good. We're good on cards. Got him. That was pretty brutal. Blue-black. Aggro. Does its job. Alright, 5-1. This deck's awesome. We have so much double blue, but we also have so much double black, so we just got unlucky that one game. Keep it rolling. Get your Gix smashed. Alright. Yeah, I mean, when you look at his face. Professor Onyx. What do we want to do here? Damage or cards? Damage or cards, damage or cards, damage or cards, damage or cards. Damage. Snagging tricks and smashing Gix. Yeah, well said. Well said. Hey, look at that. Look at our decision-making skills. Now Tamio gets to live in the Gutterbones stead. Alright, that's pretty sweet. Do attack in, make a Treasuroni and cheese. Deep Cavern bat something away. What you got? What's your game plan looking like? Well, that is quite a pile you have there, Mr. Red-White deck. Screaming Nemesis actually doesn't worry me. I'm going to get his Trumpeting Carnosaur, maybe, or his Collective Defiance. I guess Collective Defiance kills my things. And so does Trumpeting Carnosaur. So I should probably get one of those. And, I mean, if he decides to Screaming Nemesis here, the next turn I can Phantasmal Image the Trumpeting Carnosaur away. Yeah, alright. Alright, let's see if I can pull this off. I mean, it's a little bit fragile, but I think it's going to be strong. Just take away another removal spell from my opponent. Get another lifelink flyer. We'll see. I mean, it's a little fragile, but... And this is good. I like that he played War Leader's Call. It's a pretty good curve for our opponent. All right, what does he have? Shove aside with that bloodthirsty adversary. Can we get a counter spell? I guess not. It doesn't look like we can draw another card either. Well, we can at least transform Tamiyo. Is that going to be better than just being able to Fatal Push? Well, at least I'll have Tamiyo flipped, right? No, because then I just die to the Screaming Nemesis Bloodthirsty Adversary combo. All right, I want to draw a card. I want to draw a land. Not a land. If the next thing was a land, that'd be cool. But I think if I just flip Tamiyo and make my opponent attack Tamiyo, that could be good. Nah, I don't really want him to be able to kill Tamiyo with his creatures. So I'm just going to kill this thing and play a Spyglass Siren and just have a bunch of threats out. This way, if he kills a bat, I still have lots of things on board. Will he blow up the Deep Cavern Bat? He has to, right? He's probably going to get the Trumpeting Carnosaur back. No. All right, Dark Slick Shores is not helpful here. We really needed a land that doesn't come into play untapped. Because this can hit Planeswalkers. Oh, I see. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. All right, well, Snapcaster Fatal Push kills that. So what if we just put a map counter on... I was just going to kill it. I could just flip Tamiyo, keep up a blocker, make it awkward for him to try and get rid of her. It would have been nice to draw another land there. But this way, if he wants to use Collective Defiance on the Spyglass Pyron, then he doesn't use it on Deep Cavern Bat. So if he wants to kill Deep Cavern Bat and blow up Tamiyo with Collective Defiance, then he won't have enough mana to kill Spyglass Siren with something else. Hopefully. Definitely not the Trumpeting Carnosaur effect. Spyglass Siren is here to just block, because if I can just get Fatal Push back from my graveyard, that's going to be awesome. I can get Fatal Push back, cast it, then keep getting it back. I can also get back Time Warp with this card. Alright, there we go. And my opponent's leaving the Deep Cavern Bat, so that's fine with me. The whole point of this was to make my opponent use removal and not have enough for the bet. And in that, we succeeded. Gix looks good here. We're going to get in and attack. I think I'm going to draw a land. Excellent. And now I have Snapcaster Fatal Push. I could have Ophiomancered too, but yeah, Ophiomancer might have been better there. Ophiomancer is definitely a better choice. Oh, look at that. That is pretty strong from our opponent. Do I go to 2? I don't think I go to 2. Seems dangerous. I'd rather go to 5. Turns out that was a little bit better than leaving Ophiomancer, or than playing Ophiomancer. So that worked out. All right, so I have a Time Warp. Let's see if I can get another power on this Deep Cavern Bat. Oh, wait. Oh, that's a Phantasmal Image. I don't want to target that with anything. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, all right. We get a Time Warp. And we get a Lazav. And then now we don't want to be losing any life. I'm not going to draw cards with Gix here. And then I have many blockers. Air tie. This looks good. Let's see if our opponent can do anything. We're 5, but we have a counter spell. Go down to the Scalds. It's going to give my opponent 4 cards. I think I should just counter that spell. Or should I? Give my opponent 4 cards. No, I might just be able to kill his Zealous Conscripts at his end step if he doesn't play another creature and just attack him for lethal. That's not a crime. All right. Here's an air tie to kill his Zealous Conscripts, and that should be lethal. All right, because you can block these 2 3/3s, then take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's game. I can just make sure of it. Cracking that map token first. Good game, Biggie. That was a close one. That was awesome. Oh no. Oh no. I think he got murdered again. That's not a good joke, is it? It's not a good joke. Still too soon. Always too soon for my man, Biggie. 6-1, blue-black, aggro. This deck's sick. Let's get our last win and then play something else, because Cube is awesome. We may, in fact, just play blue-black aggro again. That's the beautiful thing about Cube. You never know what's going to happen. You might get a repeat. I really like to play a white-blue control deck in Cube. I like to play the red-black aggro deck. I like red-white a lot. Red, white, and blue, black are probably my two favorite decks to play. I also really like green X, just like a mono green deck that's ramping. Green, black, or green, white, green, blue, whatever. Green X, because the ramping in this game in this cube is amazing. All right, my opponent has a bunch of 3-drops and a Micaeus. I'm going to get rid of this unidentified hover ship. I might be able to make it work that his Skyclave Apparition can't get... Oh, this costs 2? Oh, whoops. I don't really want him Skyclave Apparitioning my Deep Cavern Bat. I'm going to see if I can grab that too. Mine. We're noticing a pattern here. Phantasmal Image, what I should say is Deep Cavern Bat is good. And if I can play 2, I should. Phantasmal Image has copied Deep Cavern Bats 3 times, and that is A-okay with me. I still don't think that I want to use my Fatal Push on his Kellen, because he has Sarah Paragon, and, I mean, this kills Sarah Paragon, so I'll just attack, let him possibly get more cards off Kellen, get a single card off Kellen, I should say. But we'd really like our Fatal Push to kill that Sarah Paragon. How exactly we're going to get our Fatal Push to do so, we'll see. Yeah. I guess now I need to kill that Kellen or that Micaeus. No. I can Lutri and then Fatal Push when I draw another blue source. How about that? Plus, I have Damnation, so if worst comes to worst, then I can just like block and let him use one of his spells to get back the other one, and I'll just blow up all of his creatures. We're going to take some damage here. We don't want it to be too obvious that we have a board wipe. Ooh, that's a nice rip from our opponent. Did he gain any life this turn? Doesn't look like it. Alright, so he'll probably drop that Ocelot. Can I get a land, please? No. No, in fact, you cannot. Alright. Well, I can't attack with these now. I'll attack with one of them. Maybe. Yeah, I'll attack with this one. I want to gain some life. And I don't want it to be too obvious that I have a board wipe up. Tamiyo, we'll keep a Fatal Push in case we need to keep ourselves alive. There we go. So I'll sacrifice that, and then I can Fatal Push the Paragon. I don't get the map tokens because that was a Phantasmal image. That was a good interaction for our opponent. Yep. Oh, dang. I wanted to get the Deep Cavern Bat, but... oh well. Can't always get what you want. Luminarch Aspirant with Mikaeus is a strong combo. So, our opponent plays Blade Splicer, we top deck a land, and then play this Damnation. How about that? No luck. Are we dead? Block. Oh, he has Mana Tithe? Nice. Alright, good game, opponent. Good game. Yeah, we got pretty unlucky there. Couldn't get our 4th land for Damnation. That's alright. We're 6-2. Let's get our last game and claim that trophy and get another draft in. I hope Untapped is working. It seemed to be earlier. You can take a look at this awesome deck. It's so low to the ground. Fast. Lots of cheap interaction. I'm disappointed we weren't able to use our Damnation there, but that's Magic, you know? Can't win them all. This hand looks okay. And it's really just okay. Tamiyo is not the best card to be ramping into Gix with. Maybe we'll draw a 2-drop, but if we do, we don't get to play Tamiyo because this is a tapped land, so this hand's just okay. We're not going to get immediate value off of Gix, which means he might just die before doing anything. But at least our opponent's playing a Fountain Port Bell in their deck. What? It's not something you expect to see in Cube. It's cool, I guess. It's funny that Tamiyo just doesn't hurt my opponent. All peaceful Tamiyo. Murderous Gix. Murderous Gix does not reward peaceful Tamiyo for her attack. Needs more death. Alright, nice control deck coming in from our opponent, it seems. Do we want to just start flipping this thing? I don't... yeah, we do. We want Tamiyo to be a pain in the butt. So we're just going to tick her up one by one and make our opponent deal with her, because that emblem is pretty sweet. And you get up to it in a few turns. Force him to bury in the garden. That's cool. This may be like the only chance I have to get Lutri in my hand, but I'm interested in putting an underdog on the board so I can apply some pressure. I think having Lutri in my hand here is going to be pretty sweet. And I have a lot of 2-drops, so with 6 mana, I'm going to be able to get my mana's worth with all of these. As much as I would like to be applying pressure immediately, having Lutri in my hand is going to be very strong. Alright, since my opponent didn't do anything main phase, and he's not really It doesn't appear to be much of a blue deck. Playing this fairy. He might have plenty of instants. But I want to spend my mana, play my cards. Now I can play the underdog and keep up a counterspell. That's pretty strong. Can't counter that one. Wow. Opponent just completely shut down our game plan with that Aether Channeler. That is pretty absurd. I guess I'll keep this Tenacious Underdog in case I want to make disappear one of his spells really badly. No need to offer that trade with the Channeler. Malevolent Rumble. Okay. This is annoying. I would like to draw land. This is a pain in the ass. Opponent keeps getting to create stupid little incremental value while we don't draw lands. Playing around our make disappears. Well, I do want to land. I definitely wanted to land. Nice. He might have a counterspell in his hand, but we'll at least make disappear that twice. Nice. I guess if he has Spell Pierce. Oh no, he has the Eldrazi Spawn token. Yeah, no, he's gonna get to resolve that to Fairy. Good old Eldrazi Spawn token. Uh-oh. And our opponent has 3 mana up. Could be in trouble. Could be in trouble. I really don't want to let him untap with that, but I think I have to. I mean, I could time warp and then like attack it next turn, but it won't be dead. If he doesn't have a counterspell, the Shieldred's going to be really good. Of course he has a counterspell. Nice, opponent. Drawn perfectly. He had one card left in hand and drew into that exclude with Teferi. And had the Buried in the Garden to play it. Drawn perfectly. You can't always beat an opponent that draws perfectly. But we're doing alright. We have plans. Our opponent has too many cards in their hand with that Teferi out. Not looking good for us. And that Glissa is a pain in the ass. What is my opponent playing? They're playing a Fountain Port Bell. That's what they're playing. And we're losing right now. Madness. Time Warp seems pretty fucking bad here. Sublime Epiphany doesn't do anything at all by itself. We can't copy Time Warp with Lutri yet. The plan is to copy Time Warp with Lutri at a future turn. I mean, we could turn on the Tenacious Underdog. There's really nothing at all that we can do with this hand. Could not possibly be worse. I guess I'm just going to pass, let my opponent draw a million cards. And I mean, I literally can't do anything to affect the board in a positive way right now. Oh, well, that's nice. We'll see if I can make this work. More counterspells, probably. If he got Teferi early, his deck probably has nothing but counterspells in it. And cards like Oro and Glissa. That's helpful, at least. It's not great, but now we can Lutri Time Warp next turn. And that should give us the ability to do some crazy things. Lutri Time Warp gives me 2 turns. Then I can Snapcaster, or I can Cyber Siphoner the Sublime Epiphany. Then I can Snapcaster Sublime Epiphany. Yeah, we've got a good game plan here, especially if our opponent doesn't have counterspells. Spell Snare could be sick here. Yeah, he didn't have a counterspell for that Sublime Epiphany, so him only drawing one extra card, I didn't think he had one for that too. So now we have 2 extra turns on the stack. And we're not going to attack with our Broncos. Airtie Resurrected destroys his Glissa. And then this is going to draw cards. I've got another turn to kill Teferi, so we'll be able to do it next turn if he gets rid of one of our Broncos here. X equals 2. I can't stop that. But I can Tenacious Underdog to get rid of that. Yeah, this makes my mana usage next turn more efficient. We'll just get rid of Teferi. Draw an extra card. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Now I can Cyber Siphoner back the Time Warp and just win. Good game. Nah, I'll take damage. I don't need him to take the damage. Good game. Ooh! Ooh! What a comeback. Our opponent had Teferi on the board, and we just had a handful of spells that we couldn't make work together yet. We just needed to have some patience. I felt a bit impatient while he had Teferi on the board, but got him good there. Seven and 2. That's a trophy. Let's take a look at this felonious masterpiece. It is beautiful, isn't it? Lutri was pretty good. We picked up that Lutri for free at some point instead of a couple other cards that seemed good. I like that new blue removal spell that definitely don't want to be playing for 4 mana. Yeah, this deck was good. We played 16 lands to play some more cards, and it worked out quite well. Good games. 7 and 2. That's a good way to start the day.